Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for SOLIDWORKS World 2019, Tracy Wilson.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, SOLIDWORKS community. How you feeling? Well, we are coming to you live from the SOLIDWORKS Stages 2019 right here in Dallas, Texas. Yeah, you can cheer for Dallas. Right now, over 6,000 diehards from all over the world are in this room, and there are even more watching on our live stream. So are you ready? Are you ready? Welcome to SOLIDWORKS World 2019.
It's a new world out there. Whatever your job is, it's expanding.
It's about time. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I thought he'd never leave, but we're good now.
Whatever you did yesterday, you need to do better today. Think you already have the key to your team's success? Think again.
No problem.
From design and engineering, to testing and prototyping, even manufacturing, distribution, sales and profitability.
Great, looks like we got it.
Today's great teams have an entrepreneurial attitude where everyone and everything means the difference between success and failure. They need the knowledge and know-how to thrive in today's environment and shorten the distance between concept and completion. It's a new reality, where vision is everything, where collaboration is king, where great ideas grow, and where possibility takes form.
What do you think?
I knew you guys were up to something. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO of SOLIDWORKS Dassault System, Gianpaolo Bassi.
Good morning and welcome to SOLIDWORKS World 2019. I heard you are ready. I am too. You know, when I was a kid, my dream was to be a cowboy. And when I come back to Texas, I always remember this dream of mine. We will talk a lot about dreams today. This is a wheelchair, a motorized wheelchair. This was a dream. This is an amazing product, great engineering, great manufacturing, and great people behind it. Christian Begg, I know he's connected and he's watching us, was an avid outdoorsman when in 1996 a sporting accident left him paralyzed from the waist down. Being a mechanical engineer, since then he spent years trying to go back into the outdoors, trying to create a wheelchair that could withstand the rugged trail of the Canadian Rockies. Finally, 2 years ago, his effort paid off. And here is what he created. This chair was just a seed of possibility for Christian. And here at SOLIDWORKS World, and all the 6 million users of SOLIDWORKS all over the world understand very, very well the power and the potential of possibility. And the SolidWorks world, the world of SolidWorks, is where possibility has its home. This is where we come to get inspired, to make it happen. This is where possibility takes form. This wheelchair has been designed for the outdoors. It's to give people with disabilities the chance to go back into nature. Christian saw this possibility and transformed it with his energy, with his passion, into this form, and with the help of design and manufacturing technologies. See, in fact, he used the most advanced and recent results of our research, which is a design guidance. You see an example here where he used X-Design to design the most stressed part of his bicycle. But what's more important for all of us is what this chair really embodies. This is a symbol, if you will. This is why we brought it on stage today. And this is why it will be with us all day, and if you will, for the entire duration of this conference. This represents people and technologies coming together to make a difference. And you know, this is the true meaning, the true purpose of all of us at the Dassault system, at SolidWorks. We wanted to inspire businesses and people to make a difference, to create products that can harmonize nature and life. Products, nature, and life. This is a very, very bold statement, especially when you put life into the equation, because everything we do, the great design that we make, a very powerful impact on nature, on businesses, on communities, on people. And we need to create a sustainable future for all of us and for everybody that will come after us. But to build a sustainable future, powerful tools are not enough. You need more, as we all know. We need knowledge to go from possibility to form. We need know-how to create sustainable businesses that offer meaningful products. We need collaboration to connect and share. We need marketplaces where we can trade the things that we create, but also our knowledge, our advice. We need the equivalent of what in the 15th century was the printing press, an amazing invention that triggered a period of extraordinary innovation, of very deep and profound and lasting transformation. This period was called the Renaissance. In a way, we need a new book. We need a new thinking. We need new ways of learning, of connecting. And this is indispensable for us if we want to be the catalyst and the enablers of this new Renaissance, which we want to call the Industrial Renaissance. And for us, this new book is here. We spent a lot of time, a lot of years, a lot of resources, many people working on this. It's called the 3D Experience Platform. And platform is the new thinking. You see, the entire world is going in this direction. And we want to bring you the power of platform thinking. We want to offer you this amazing concentration of tools, technologies, knowledge, and know-how. As a matter of fact, we started this journey a few years back. We started several initiatives. We always promised you to broaden and deepen our portfolio of solutions. We always told you that we would integrate everything that we do, whether it is desktop or on cloud. We also promised you to give you choice, to help you at your own pace, to give you flexibility. I hope you recognize that we made good on all these commitments. But you are a tough crowd. You have very high-end requirements. your designs are ever becoming more sophisticated. You want the confidence of multi-physics simulation. You tolerate 0 defects at the design stage. 0. You want all your business processes to be beautifully integrated. You want excellence in each step, and you want full digital continuity. You want to ignite the industrial renaissance. So, as you know, Dassault Systèmes in the years has created very powerful brands, each of one specialized and creating excellence in their own domain. And this is coming very close to what you ask us. You want excellence in design, you want excellence in simulation, you want excellence in collaboration, you want excellence in manufacturing, and you want all of this to be beautiful digitally integrated. You want a platform. You have been asking this for many, many years. So we asked ourselves, how can we best make this happen? Well, the answer is actually very simple. You take our DNA, our trademark. I would say it's our love for simplicity, ease of use, being connected with you, the users. Then you take the power of the brands that, as I said, are focused, specialized in their domain, and then they create excellence. And they are all integrated all together into this very powerful platform. And we call this 3dexperience.works. 3dexperience.works. Think about this. This is our first announcement today. And it is a very, very important one, because it means that the 3D experience is coming to you with the DNA that we understand very well, the Works DNA. And these are the brands that will be focused to bring excellence to you, from planning with Enovia and collaboration. Of course, design, which is what we do best, what is our profound mission. And then simulation, excellence in simulation, a word that is bringing a lot of innovation into the design space. And then manufacturing, because all of this is a thread that needs continuity. So you see here the strategy roots. The roots of the strategy is very deep into SolidWorks' essence. In fact, it has been called 3dexperience.works. .works is what this strategy embodies. This is very important. It is the first announcement. A few others will come, but I want you to understand the importance of this moment. And I want to have on stage a person that can best articulate this thinking, that can explain to you what 3dexperience.works can do for you, the SolidWorks user. So please help me welcome the Vice Chairman and CEO of Dassault Systèmes, Bernard Charles.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Come stai? Good morning, friends. It's always a pleasure to be with you here every year. You are passionate designers. You change the world in the business you do, and we have the responsibility to help you even do more in the way you create products and deliver services. As John Paolo said, there is something which is at the core of what makes this community a vibrant community. It's about the innovation, the design at the center of the innovation. And it's really about improving the real world. As a matter of fact, at the very heart of our belief is the virtual world extends and improves the real world. It's the purpose for our company, but it's also, in some way, what you do every day. And because this noble mission is so significant to make this world a better world to live in, we need to expand the possibilities that we offer to you. On expanding those possibilities has been our journey for the last 35 years. On when it comes to SolidWorks, the last 22, 23 years, and you have demonstrated with this unified, vibrant community that indeed you can do it. We started to do shapes, represent objects. We then went inside and looked at the complexity. And next, we added time. And by the way, we added time to the digital mock-up, and we called it product life cycle management. Life cycle management. And now, the topic for the years to come is to add emotion, to add the connection between what you deliver to people and why people love what you deliver. And we call it 3D experience. That's so relevant that it's changing everything. And we have to expand what you can do with the power of SolidWorks, expanding it in new world areas of innovation. If you observe the world today, and you are changing the world at the beginning of this 21st century, you are creating an industry renaissance in a true meaning. It's not digitalization of the 20th century. There is something else happening. Look at the segments, new mobility, air, road, new type of solutions, new shaker, innovators coming in and saying, I can do and build better solutions for the world, for people, for citizens. That's what you see in all those illustrations here. And I'm going to show you a few stories that are true experiences, because in some way, with the 3D experience, you are going to become story makers. The story will be the experience. If you look at, for example, what John Paolo announced this morning, the first message, 3dexperience.works, why are we doing that? For a simple reason. Creating the works experience, the experience that you love, for everything else in the innovation process. Using mobility, cloud, and all possible available technology like AI on any aspect of it. As you can see, at Dassault Systèmes, we have taken a very ambitious goal to digitize the world. We do it for cars, trains, planes, and cities now. Now, I'm going to show you a few illustrations of that. And of course, with 3dexperience.works comes SolidWorks to power new possibility, and Delmia Works. That's the new name for the recent acquisition of IQMS, because we believe that this market of business connected to design and production has been underserved, too expensive, too complex. We want to make ERP and design so easy to use, deploy, and exploit in your companies that it's going to do to the world of ERP what we did with SolidWorks, what you did with SolidWorks for the world of design in the last 22 years. And we think it's possible. That's the commitment that we are making today, and it's the second message for the SolidWorks World 2019. If you look at now, amazing experiences going on around the world, briefly. This is Eco. They are doing mass customization of sport shoes. Here is how it works. They can digitize, scan, and analyze the dynamic of your work on a little plateau. And then real time, they will use our platform, the 3D Experience platform, do big data analytics, simulation modeling, and create in less than 2 hours the sole of these shoes that are going to be perfect for you. I have, in fact, a pair of exactly those shoes, and you have the impression you are flying when you walk. It's really mass customization for consumer goods, basically. So the world is changing, and this is the power of design connected with business and connected to improve quality of life. There is a second example I want to talk to you about. And by the way, that's a story by itself, because you get a great new experience. And that story is about a design extremely well-known architect firm, Zaha Hadid. They got the Nobel Prize of Architecture 2 years ago. And listen carefully to what they are saying, because it echoes what we are announcing today.
Unlike what most people think, art, technology, and science are closely related. And in fact, what we do is celebrate the interplay and the intersection of technology, art, and science. What we require for that is an underlying infrastructure, a technological infrastructure that allows us to explore an artistic vision and provide the experience that ultimately our customers are looking for. The greatest challenge we have is translating a design vision into built reality. Wherever we operate around the world, there's a different construction context, a different level of maturity for the construction industry in that particular location. So the tools that we use and the platforms that we use, the processes that we use are there to help us ensure that that vision is achieved.
What do you think? Celebrating art, science, and technology. Cristiano is having a real purpose in what they do and how they improve citizens' life with new ways to construct and build cities for people with the proper emotional connection. Welcome to that journey called the 3D Experience Journey. The story is the experience. There is no need to translate it in any other materials. There is another story that I want to share with you. It's a very brief one. It's related to the state of Rajasthan, and it's about Jaipur. And they have decided to connect the dots to use that platform phenomenon to increase the inclusiveness of how to improve life, quality of life for people. Let's hear briefly how they are doing it.
Let me show you how the 3D Experience platform on the cloud has transformed my daily work. First, thanks to the 3D Experience platform, we are able to listen in real time the voice of citizens. Look to the green curve, which shows the first positive impacts of our politics. Our secret weapon to solve those traffic jams? Flyover bridges. These enable to free vehicle lanes, to create appropriate pedestrian areas, and rethink or even create new green areas for people. Let's zoom on my latest project on Ambedkar Crossroad. Thanks to our 3D Experience twin of our city, I can quickly assess the current traffic. It's clearly red. I can simulate impact of a new flyover bridge and see the positive effects on the traffic. I can of course integrate in my thinking process all the underground infrastructures and geology. In few seconds, I can share my project with all the stakeholders and immediately leverage the power of my network. I can start to involve civil engineers and simulation experts. very simply, I can share all the contextual information required to design this new bridge right the first time. The bridge design is finished. Instantaneously and seamlessly, I can experience the great job done by my engineers. Agency in charge of green areas mentioned a new park was under study close to the new bridge. They asked me to conduct a noise and pollution analysis to guarantee a relaxing experience for future park visitors. In a few interactions, results are immediately visible. Current park placement is definitely not the best. Using the 3D Experience platform, I can simply share an experience illustrating my proposal and efficiently converge with my counterparts from Green Areas Agency. With Jaipur 3D City project, we are building a 3D experience of the city itself, always looking after our fellow citizens' well-being.
Another story, a real experience. We are not in a product economy anymore. We are in an experience economy. What it means is the value to citizens and people of what we do every day is the real value of our contribution to sustainable innovation. That's what 3D Experience is about. I was reading a very interesting article the other day from a new scientific publication discussing about why is mankind smarter than a monkey? And there is a lot of theory of that. There is one which was related to brain size. That has been wiped out, does not work. Another one was related to the envelope size of the brain, which was, by the way, the recent belief from scientists, wiped out. It's not the right answer. And they finally demonstrated in this recent study, which is soon going to be published, by the way, that the uniqueness is in the human brain. There is a way to connect different areas of the brain that is unique to human versus animals. With 3D Experience, we want to connect the dots, the same thing, because it's very hard to connect all elements of a very complex problem. And 3D Experience Works is going to be done for you with the great works usability to make it usable for you on the cloud, with mobile, on all of the experience you love. So, to conclude, this is a journey. The 21st century is not the digital extension of the 20th century. What we are going to do collectively, by connecting the dots, is change the value we provide to citizens and people, because we can improve the quality of the world for people. Harmonizing product, nature, and life, our dear purpose, is about connecting the dots. Welcome to 3dexperience.works. We are expanding the field of possibilities for you. Enjoy 2009 SOLIDWORKS world, because you are going to have the benefit and the power of a platform with the benefit and the power of the investment we have been doing with Delmia Works, the new IQMS, to connect all the dots in your business and deliver the best solutions for your clients. Thank you very much. We can continue to expand for the next 20 years this vibrant community to reach this formidable challenge of improving the world. Enjoy SOLIDWORKS 2019, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Bernard. Thank you, that's terrific. Very exciting possibilities.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure we can apply it to New York. You're from New York, right?
I am. I think we can make some good changes there. And I was also thinking I might need to change into those cushy shoes.
Okay, let's try them. They are very good.
Great, thank you so much. Well, as you know, SOLIDWORKS World would not be possible without the help of our incredible sponsors. So let's take a look at longtime sponsor, Dell.
What does it take to make digital transformation actually happen? Do you just flip a switch and presto, your business is magically transformed? Not quite. It takes a groundbreaking company like Dell Technologies, a family of 7 technology leaders working behind the scenes to make the impossible reality. For instance, we're helping to give cars the power to read your mind from anywhere. We're helping up to 40% of the nation's donated blood supply to be redirected to the areas and people that need it most. And we're even developing technology to create a whole new vision for the blind. So while you might not see what we're doing is changing the way we all see the world. Magic can't make digital transformation happen, but we can. Let's make it real.
Thank you, Dell. Thank you to all the sponsors that help us make this amazing event possible. So we talked about excellence. This is the spirit of 3DExperience.work strategy. And now, to explain a little bit further how we bring to you this excellence, I want to invite the people that are working very hard to make this 3DExperience.work strategy happen. So please welcome on stage the CEOs of the brands that will be working with us. Gary Nemmers, CEO of IQMS. Welcome.
Thank you,
Gary.
GP. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Stéphane Declé, CEO of Enovia. Stéphane, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
David Holman, VP of R&D of Simulia. David, thank you for coming. Welcome. Please have a seat. And Florence Hu, Senior Vice President of Platform and Marketplace, once again on our stage. Hi, Florence. Welcome. Welcome. These are the guys that are going to help us make 3DExperience.works a reality. So you will hear from them how they're going to do it. Let's start with Gary. Gary, you have a strong knowledge and understanding of manufacturing automation. You know our world because we have customers in common, I understood. Now, explain to our users here and to everybody connected in the world why IQMS DelmiaWorks is so important for our customers.
I do know this for a fact, GP. We have over 60% of our customers are also SolidWorks customers, so that's impressive. That's good. We have 1,000.
60%.
We have 1,000 plus customers and 600 customers. Maybe some are in this room, maybe. So if you're here and you're a customer as well at IQMS, now DelmiaWorks, welcome. Thank you. So our software was born literally on the shop floor. It uniquely combines MES, Manufacturing Execution System, and ERP, which is resource planning, in one complete integrated native system that serves the mid-market manufacturing customer base. We have a long history, GP, of helping our customers produce more, reduce errors, increase visibility into inventory, and also manage very complex regulatory compliance issues in many industries.
Complexity, reduce errors, increase output. This is all you want to do, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes, and so I think, with our companies coming together, we've been a member of Dassault Systems now and this company for 37 days, I think, and counting. So we're brand new, but the interest level is very high, and we're here for this channel. And we think that combined, our companies now come together, and the solution comes together on the platform, GP. This will lead our common customers to the industrial renaissance.
Okay, fantastic. I think you brought a testimonial from one of those customers already, right?
I have a video. Should we watch it?
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm Al Kohler, president of Kohler Enterprises. We service the automotive, the commercial lighting, food packaging, and aquatics industries. We have 4 different companies working out of 5 facilities. We do the design for all of these companies on SolidWorks, and every one of the 5 facilities uses IQMS to operate on the manufacturing floor and the accounting side. I can be anywhere in the world and access plant floor to look and see how things are running and to check up on things and improve things if I need to. IQMS was developed for manufacturers, and we used to use some other CAD softwares. They were hard to use and hard to learn. SolidWorks is much easier, and it's also a very powerful tool. The combination of both of those softwares have really helped the growth of the company and will continue to help us grow in the future.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gary. And speaking of manufacturing automation and shop floor, this year we have an amazing shop floor in the Partners Pavilion. Please go and check it out. It's truly amazing. Now, I want to spend some time with you, Stefan. We've been working together for many years. So explain why the PLM solutions that we are bringing to our customers are so relevant for this audience.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure to be here with you for the first time. Very impressive scene here.
Very impressive.
So really, I mean, Enovia wants to offer to all SolidWorks users a scalable set of PLM services based on the power of the SolidWorks platform in the cloud. For them, which means for all of you here, to plan, develop, and release new product innovation. And this means no need for new infrastructure, no need for customization. You are basically up and running in almost 0 time. And as you said, I mean, JP, we have been working together for many years, and we fully understand. I think this is the next video. It's coming. No problem. We fully understand actually how important is usability, simplicity, and integration. And actually, we have been designing the integration together with SolidWorks. So as you can see, it is really smooth and fully immersive inside SolidWorks desktop. So with 3D experience and with PLM services, your data become totally native in the platform. So they are fully interoperable with all other applications like simulation or numerical control. So really, if you are looking for collaboration and scalable PLM in the cloud, one word, Enovia is the solution for you.
So you heard it very well. This is very important. We will go over this concept again. This is the door into digital continuity. Your SolidWorks files will be perfectly, seamlessly integrated with everything else we have to offer to you. And I think we have customers already trying this power, right?
Yes, actually, we have been running this program with your team last year, and I think Square Robots is a good example. The first starting this program based in nearby Boston.
Yep.
And I think they want to speak to you.
Okay, let's go.
The midstream oil and gas industry, inspection technology has been pretty much underserved by automation and robotics. The market told us more than anything that they really needed advanced automation to help with these inspections. The first prototype, first article is called SR1. A service company would take the robot is then lowered into the tank, and then once there, it basically navigates around the tank and moves along much in the way like you see them sort of mow the lawn at a baseball park, right? Just back and forth, and it just scans the floor, measuring the thickness of the floor as it goes. One of the things we were able to get with SolidWorks was a cloud-based PLM solution that allowed models to be shared over great distances and be synchronized instantly.
With the new 3D Experience platform, it's a lot easier to see who's got what parts reserved and who's working on what, and you can see when it was last updated.
It's drastically faster to get simple changes shared.
If you're not designing your systems and not setting up your business such that you can get the best people wherever they are, you're going to have problems. And tools like a cloud-based PLM services solution help you get there, and you want to get those problems out of the way, because that's a problem you can solve, so solve it.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Stefan, for this testimonial. Very good. Very good. Now I want to spend some time with David. David is in charge at Simulia of creating the next generation of fully integrated simulation experiences. Because you have to understand that simulation is evolving into this concept of multi-physics, and they know how to do it. They are the best in the world. David, explain to us why multi-physics simulation is so important for our customers.
Yes, Gianpaolo. So our customers want to create products that work as expected. This is mission critical for them, as you can understand. Nobody will remain competitive relying just on costly and time-consuming physical prototype. Accurate simulation of real-life scenarios is the only way to succeed. And for that, you need coverage of all physics disciplines: mechanical, fluid, thermal, electromagnetic simulation, plus all the respective interactions. So, you know, I have been, Gianpaolo, in the simulation business all my life. Believe me, Simulian reaches today our 3D experience platform with the most impressive coverage of multiphysics simulation in the market.
Yeah.
Right. I'm convinced that we are well equipped to reveal the performance of the most demanding creations from our SolidWorks community. Indeed, our customers are already realizing the value of our solutions, right?
Okay, you want to see it?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Play the video.
Infocus Energy is an engineering and manufacturing plant specialized in new technologies.
We design drilling and completion tools for the oil and gas industry. My specialty is simulating those tools. SolidWorks simulation helps us do that by very quickly taking our CAD models, applying loads to them, seeing how they're going to react, and then we can iterate that very quickly, make design changes on the fly, see how they'll behave, and make sure the tools we're putting out the door are the best tools we can. We face design challenges that often have tight deadlines associated with them. So that means we often have to get a tool designed, manufactured, and out the door in a matter of weeks. That takes the actual design time down to a couple of days. So we use SolidWorks for everything.
We weren't getting the results on the computer that actually matched what was happening in reality out here in the shop. Now, we're actually seeing the results that are intended and we're expecting.
Some of the simulations that we were running were really pushing SolidWorks simulation to its limits, and that's where Simulia Structural Simulation Engineer, or SSE, comes in. What SSE lets us do is take models with much larger meshes and run them much quicker. Rather than solving it locally on my machine, I can push that off to the cloud and use high-performance computing resources to solve that.
SolidWorks and SSE specifically have accelerated our business substantially. We're saving crazy time, and that's dramatically cutting down on the amount of not only the manufacturing, the cost of manufacturing, and the time associated with getting tools out quicker. We believe if it's not fresh and innovative, we're not into it. And SolidWorks aligns with that perfectly.
Great, thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you. Fantastic testimony. You see, this is excellence. Oil and gas is one of the most demanding industry ever, you know. Those guys cannot make any mistake. And this is what Simulia is bringing to the table. And they said it. This is a SolidWorks simulation. It's the SolidWorks experience with the excellence of the Simulia dedication. Thank you, David. Now, Florence, last year we were together at SolidWorks World, and we announced this amazing vision of a marketplace. We called it the Amazon for design, engineering, and manufacturing. Can you update us on what happened in the last year?
Of course, Gianpaolo. If you remember, the first marketplace we released was Make, Marketplace for Manufacturing. Make connects SolidWorks user to an ecosystem of industrial service bureaux, industrial manufacturers, in one click, and manage the end-to-end transaction from request up to delivery. Make ecosystem is growing fast, with today more than 200 service providers, around 15 machines, covering all manufacturing processes.
Wow, 200 providers, 15,000 machines, that's impressive. So where can we see Make in action here at SolidWorks World?
Can you go back on the previous slide, Gianpaolo?
Yep.
Okay, up, next, up, I'm sorry.
Next one?
Yes. Okay, this is the Make, yes, next slide. In fact, look at that. What I invite all of you on the partner pavilion shop floor. You will discover how to move from virtual to real with Make, seamlessly connected to IQMS on the way to the manufacturing machines.
So all integration, including IQMS, just join the family. You were able to put all those things together for the show.
Yes, exactly. You will see that, you can see that live in action on the partner pavilion shop floor.
This is amazing. So what next, Florence?
Gianpaolo, the next step is the marketplace for engineering. Look at that. Look at this portable speaker, just an example. To realize it, you need knowledge, know-how, expertise in various disciplines. But you don't necessarily have them in-house, especially if you are a startup. So how to involve these experts? Thanks to the engineering marketplace, open soon for partners registration. Look at that, all happen online. Specify your request, few clicks, and the marketplace automatically suggests the most relevant service providers, taking into account their skills and past deliveries. Then iterate until to find an agreement, and finally execute up to the delivery quickly, seamlessly, and efficiently. Gianpaolo, I propose now to listen to SOLIDWORKS customers and partners who have been introduced to the engineering marketplace.
Let's go.
My name is Matteo Forgione. I'm the president of Forgione Engineering in Lowell, Massachusetts. We're a full-service product development, engineering, and manufacturing firm.
My name is Sarah Reynolds, and I've been with CAD Dimensions, a SOLIDWORKS reseller, for 12 years. CAD Dimensions has realized a great opportunity to provide added value to our customers by offering the skills of our seasoned staff of application engineers for engineering services.
Marketplace for Engineering Services is a place where people who are looking for professionals or expert designers can go and find a resource that is readily available, that they can get what they need.
A marketplace design and engineering service is a means to share both our product knowledge as well as our customers' expertise with a much broader audience. Having a platform for customers to find us is immensely helpful.
It allows me to sell my services to people who might not otherwise be able to find me. It helps me with lead generation and with generating business that might not otherwise come our way or might not exist.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, David. Thank you, Florence. You can go back and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you for your testimonial. Thank you. See you later. And please understand that these gentlemen and ladies have prepared very amazing breakout sessions throughout the duration of the conference. So please check the agenda and go find out how they are helping us bring excellence to you. And now, it is a special moment. Now, it is time to acknowledge a very special team, the team that make all of us here on stage look good. The team that is realizing and bringing to you excellence. Of course, this is the R&D team, of the Dassault SOLIDWORKS. Please, have a camera shot at that. Look at that. Thank you guys. A big applause. Stand up, stand up. I would like. Thank you Manish, John, Amit, Bruce. Thank you, all of you. I would love to name all of you, but I don't have the time. And so I would like also to acknowledge the person which is the head of the entire R&D organization, Dominique Florac. Thank you, Florac, for coming here. I hope the camera is going to have a view of him. Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now back to the audience. I know you are interested into the future of design. We have announced here on stage many innovations. We brought to you X-Design, and I am very excited to bring you examples of uses of X-Design, which embodies really our vision of the future of design, with design guidance, with the ability to use it anytime, anywhere, the fact that it is always up to date, the fact that the duality of part assemblies has all disappeared to make it more flexible, more easy to use. But I want to offer this uses a glimpse of the possibilities through the eyes of a very special customer of ours that comes from a small country that borders the Baltic Sea. Let's look at the video. Please help me welcome Vladimir Popov, CEO of INRE, one of our VARs, and Rapolas Grasis, an innovator, industrial designer, and founder of Lava Drops. An applause, please. Vladimir, I would start with you. So I was in Lithuania for the first time last year, and we went together to the Ministry of Science and Education, and we had discussion on how to help the community to bring education into the STEM values, into engineering, into science, into technology. I also spent quite some time with the business community, and you are one of the leaders there, and I found an entire country obsessed and focused on innovation and technology. It was really inspiring for me. So can you tell us what's in it in Lithuania? Why are you guys so focused on education and innovation?
Thank you, Gianpaolo. You know, Lithuania is a small country, but with a long history and a really strong passion for independence. We are in the heart of Europe, and our oldest educational institution, the University of Vilnius, was founded in 16th century.
16th century.
So we are a country that bet on education early on. Of course, not having vast natural resources, we have to invest in innovation, both in services and products, which means we have to invest in people who are in charge of creating these innovations. An important contribution in that direction was the deployment of 3,500 licenses of SolidWorks Educational Edition to Lithuanian schools last year.
Yep.
This global initiative was introduced by us, as you already mentioned, at the Ministry of Science and Education of Lithuania in May during your visit to Vilnius.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Now, Vladimir, tell us how you discovered the young innovator and artist Rapolas. How did it happen?
Oh, yes, this is an interesting story, really interesting story. Maybe you remember two young Lithuanian guys at SolidWorks World Partner Pavilion here in Dallas exactly 3 years ago. One with an orange scooter and another one with a handmade guitar of very unusual shape. At that time, both they were students of Vilnius Academy of Art. By the way, one of the best our academic user in Lithuania. And we invited them to participate to the show with their creative design projects. Rapolas, with his lava drop guitar, was one of them. Since that time, Rapolas has been working hard, building his business, growing from the idea and startup to real enterprise.
From possibility to form. Thank you, Vladimir. Thank you. Rapolas, when we first met, I was fascinated by your vision, and you were thinking about technology, art, and how to intersect them. That's a place where we like to be ourselves. So please tell us what is your inspiration and why you made the Lava Drops come true.
Thank you, Gianpaolo. Thank you, Vladimir, for introduction. So at Lava Drops, we use modern technology and precision craftsmanship to gain a perfect result of collectible musical art piece. We design and manufacture instruments that inspire creativity. Through all those years, Lava Drops has been appreciated by the most world-famous musicians: Jack White, Tommy Emmanuel, Stevie Morse, Dominic Miller. So I can say that nature is my main source of creativity. I always wanted to connect human with nature. And I was thinking about an object to be as a mediator between those two living organisms. So I found a way to implement that by creating musical instruments from natural resources: rare wood, various metals, amber stones from the sea, even meteorites from the atmosphere. All those precious materials blend together in a combination of authentic tone, comfortable playability, and aesthetic design. And the most interesting part is that each material has its own sound profile, and that sound could be tamed in a musical instrument.
That's amazing. Thank you. So basically, you said that your mission is to inspire creativity. So let us know how X-Design helped you in your mission.
Of course. So X-Design is, I can say, reliable and useful platform that helps us to implement our vision of creativity through various stages. So we use X-Design in a combination with SolidWorks to gain a perfect result and seamless collaboration by providing a variety of design options to our end customers. So for us, X-Design is a multifunctional tool, from ideas to the model simulation, and from the model to the final product. So I can say that organic design inspired by aesthetics of nature meet modern technology in the future. And with the sound and form of lava drops, and with the help of X-Design, we create emotions.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you for your words, Rapolas. This is very important. Yep, a big applause. This is one of the best examples of harmonizing products, nature, and life. Now, speaking of products, Rapolas, can you show us an example of your art pieces?
Of course. So I would like to present to you my latest creation, which name is Lava Drop X X-Design Edition. And it's a gift to SolidWorks. And I would like to present very famous Lithuanian guitarist, Robert Semeniuk. He will join us together and show us possibilities.
Woo! Get out of stage. Fantastic.
This is a present.
Fantastic. Robertas, fantastic. Oh, thank you, thank you. Fantastic performance. I can't even try, of course, but this is beautiful. This is really an amazing product made with natural material that is inspiring our lives. This is amazing. Look, and the brand is 3D Experience, of course. X Design Edition. Design with X Design. Thank you. Thank you. This will be in display at our headquarters in Waltham. Actually, I think I'll keep it in my office, but everybody can come and check it out. Thank you. Thank you, Lava Drops. Thank you. Thank you, Rapolas. Thank you. Thank you again. Fantastic. That was a fantastic experience. Wow. Okay, back to business now. Let's take a little pause. Let's let the music sink in. We love music, you know. We love music, and we love even more. And we will love even more starting from our next phase. So, back into technology, we talked about X Design. It is a lot of fun to create those products. Thank you, the amazing team that is working so hard. And I'm here for the third announcement now. So we announced 3D Experience.works. We announced Delmia Works. A lot of works, okay? Now, I want to announce the next application in the X family. It is called X Shape. It's a very important development of what we do because it's going to bring you the flexibility and the power of organic design and the simplicity of this approach that is virtually featureless to all of us, and of course, fully integrated with everything else that we do. But let's do what I like to do best. Let's do a little demo. So, of course, we start with SolidWorks here. SolidWorks desktop. PCB, we just created a circuit board for a remote control with all the buttons and so on. With the click of a button, just check in. It is available on the platform. And you drag and drop the entire product seamlessly into X Shape. Now, please pay attention to the feature tree up there. You see all the products of the assembly with a little badge called SolidWorks. Those are native SolidWorks files, fully integrated, and what you see under it, you see a new body, which is the case, that needs an organic form. This is a different approach. We did PCB with PCB, we did all the buttons with desktop, and now we need something more powerful to do in a very simple gesture, the organic shape. And you see in the feature tree, there are just actually two features. That's it. That's all it takes to create this amazing organic shape. Of course, you can also go into X Design and use one of the beloved feature of us engineers, like a fillet. We put fillets everywhere because we like it smooth and nice flowing lines. And at the end, you can also split it because, of course, it has to be manufacturable. And I can tell you that this technology has been used by the top houses in the world, and it is perfected for manufacturing. You just click a button, you update, and your case goes into your familiar environment, SolidWorks Desktop, where you can use all your downstream application. You can apply material, you can simulate the flow of the plastic, and then you can send your design to the mold manufacturing to finally go in production, to go from possibility to form, which is our theme this way. So, this is our third announcement, very important. X Shape will become available this summer. Thank you. I was expecting that. I was expecting that. And it came naturally, so thank you. I really thank you. I really thank you. Now, we have brought to you again this .work strategy. I want to emphasize once again how important is the root of the strategy. And how important it is that you understand that if you want excellence, the best way to do it is to work with these great brands. So our vision is becoming larger, bigger. We are including more and more possibilities for you. And together with a larger vision from a technical point of view, we have an even larger vision for this event, our loved SolidWorks world. Now, we want this event to be bigger. Actually, this year we are shredding records again. But we want to go exponentially, because we do believe that 3D is a universal media that is able to deliver experiences to a super wide audience. So we want to build on the foundation of SolidWorks world something that can grow along the three axes of innovations that Bernard presented early on: art, science, technology. SolidWorks is at the intersections of all of this. And we want SolidWorks world, the world of 3D, as a universal media, to be at the intersection of all these axes. Therefore, we want to appeal to a much wider audience. We want to have here people that never knew us, people that don't even understand the potential of 3D. So I am very, very happy to invite you to a special transformation of SolidWorks world next year in Nashville. It will be the 3D Experience World 2020. I want to see you there. Thank you. I have been at this conference for more than 15 years. I was sitting there once. So this was a dream for me to come on stage, because I just love this event. Make sure that you will see there everything that you love of this event, but actually much more. Much more. In those axes that I just explained, you will see more art, you will see more technology, you will see more innovation. And now to celebrate this, and to make sure you will be here next year to celebrate in the town of music, Nashville, we are bringing back a beloved swag. We are bringing back to all of you this year, now, the backpack. Nancy, Tracy, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. This is for me?
That's for you.
There is one for all of you. It will be distributed, and Tracy will explain how. So again, the world expresses itself in a beautiful media that we all love. 3D is a universal media. It's for the millions. We already have many millions using this media, but we want the entire world. We want this to be pervasive, and we want everybody to understand how incredible experiences can be delivered through this universal media. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the conference. I want to see all of you next year in Nashville, and have fun. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I know, GP, everybody's really excited. Glad we got the backpacks. It's pretty exciting. Well, but now we need to get back to business. So we're going to thank another one of our longtime sponsors, HP. Thanks so much to HP. Well, we started today by talking about the theme of this year's conference, Where Possibility Takes Form. And this is a topic our keynote speaker knows incredibly well. So if you've ever bought lunch from a food truck, or bought something for a small business, or if you were riding with me in the cab last night, you've probably used Square. Square are those tiny credit card readers that are changing the way small businesses do business. Our keynote speaker is the man behind this revolution. As the co-founder of Square, Jim McKelvey has grown the company to a valuation of $30 billion. And that is just one piece of his many accomplishments. Jim has written the world's most widely read book on glass art, The Art of Fire. And his industrial design work is on permanent display and permanent collection at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City and the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. He even co-founded the educational nonprofit Launch Code. And all of that is still just a small representation of Jim's accomplishments. So please, help me in welcoming to the stage Jim McKelvey. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me here. That was almost the only time I've been introduced correctly. When they normally talk about the fact that I've got a design at the Smithsonian and at the Museum of Modern Art, they always think it's some of my glass work because I have been a glass artist now for 30 years. And I wish that was the case. But it turns out that what got me into those esteemed institutions was this little gizmo. And guess what I designed it in? Yeah. So I was super thrilled when they asked me to come and speak at SolidWorks World because you are my people. I am a maker. I'm a guy who rearranges atoms. And so they invited me to come down here. And I do a lot of public speaking. But I always play a game with the organizers when I'm invited to give a speech because I never give any input on the topic. I will always let them pick whatever they want me to talk about, and then no matter what it is, I have to give a speech about that topic. It's sort of a game that I play, and it backfired this time because they said, we want you to challenge the audience's core beliefs. We want you to change the way they think. And I was like, oh, well, this is going to be like a 2-hour keynote? And they're like, no. They will have been sitting for 2 hours almost by the time you get to stage. Some of them will have to pee. And you've got 20 minutes. And we want you to challenge their beliefs. So I thought about this, and I take this responsibility very seriously, but I thought it's impossible for me to challenge your beliefs, but there's something special about today. Today's February 11th, I think. It's February 11th, right? Yes, okay. And it was exactly 10 years ago today that we started Square. It was exactly to the date. I looked it up, and it was 10 years ago that Jack and I in San Francisco, California, said, okay, we're going to start this new company. And at the time, we didn't even know what we were going to do. But we committed to building something new, and we were searching for an idea. And I happened to come up with the idea that became Square. And we're going to talk about that today. But what I want to talk about more is not so much changing your beliefs, but sharing my beliefs that have changed in those 10 years. Because 10 years ago, I was absolutely certain that these were absolute truths. If you were an entrepreneur, if you were somebody who wanted to create something, the first thing you should do is look for opportunity, right? It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, if you're going to create something, well, go where the opportunity is. That just seemed manifestly obvious. And then, as you're seeking all this opportunity, what do you build? Because I'm a builder. I'm a guy who makes things. And what should those things be? And the world has changed. And even in 2009, when we started Square, it was an international playing field. The components that we built our products from were coming from all over the world. And communication was instantaneous all over the world. So if you had a product that was not the best, it was second rate in any way, you would be beaten by somebody somewhere else on the planet. It was not acceptable to be good, you had to be great. And I believe this in my core. And then we talked about how fast the world was changing and how quickly we had to produce our products. And working fast was a core belief of mine. The absolute answer to every temporal question was now. When do you need it? Now. When's it going to be ready? Now. When should it get? Now. When should we fix it? Now. And finally, I had this idea that in order to create something great, you had to be bold. Because all of the business leaders that I had looked at, all the people I'd studied, people who had been on stages like this, they all were really bold. They confronted their fears. Some of them didn't have any fears. They faced this sea of opposition. They said, I'm bold, I will do this stuff. And man, that's just a load of crap. I don't believe any of this stuff anymore. And I'd like to tell you how my beliefs have changed and maybe help you change a couple of yours. So let's talk about this core belief. This is the biggest one that I guess get asked about. What do you do if you don't seek opportunities? What's the alternative to seeking opportunities? And my answer is you look for a problem. And I love problems. I love problems because, to me, a problem is discrete. Like, I don't know what the opportunities are. I don't know. There's an opportunity that we have 6,000 people in this room right now. I'm sure there's an opportunity. I don't know what the opportunity is, but 6,000 of you are here, and I've got a microphone. Maybe there's an opportunity, but I don't know what it is. But problems are easy to see. And the core problem that I think led to Square was one that was very personal to me. And as I said before, I'm a maker, I'm a glass blower, and I made this ridiculous thing. That was not made in SolidWorks. That was, although I'm really excited about that organic modeling stuff, I was listening backstage, I was like, wait, because I can't see the monitors backstage, I wanted to see the software demo. But it sounded really cool, and hopefully they'll demo it later. But I made that by hand, and that, for those of you who have not been in the bathroom at my glass studio, that is the faucet in the men's room. And I made a couple of these things, and people started coming out of the men's room asking if they could buy them, and I said, no, 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 you can't buy them, because they're a real pain in the ass to make. And finally, in order to keep people from trying to buy these things, I kept jacking up the price because I hated making them. And then one day, I raised the price so high that I loved making them. So this guy tried to buy one, and it was a lady, she was trying to buy one, and she had an American Express card, and I couldn't take the American Express card, and I lost the sale, and I was pissed, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so upset. And that was February 11th. That lost sale was February 11th, 2009, and I lost the sale, and I called my friend Jack, and I was like, Jack, I know what we should do with our new company, because I'm pissed off. And that's the true story of the founding of Square, but I don't think it is the core problem behind Square, because there was another glassblower that I think really defined what Square was trying to do. And it's my friend Bob, and I would normally show you a photo of Bob, but I'm not going to do that, because it's better for me to show you Bob's car. Also not designed in SolidWorks, this is the 1992 Chevy Corsica. But it is not Bob's Chevy Corsica, because if it was, there's a critical aftermarket item. He had a little yellow bungee cord that fit across the hood, because the hood latch on the Chevy Corsica is such a piece of crap that if you drive it for 10 years, it rusts out, and then bad things happen. And a bad thing happened to my friend Bob as he was driving into the studio one night. The bungee cord let go. And the wind caught under the hood, and it flipped it up, folded it straight over the windshield. Now, most people at this point would pull over. It's not what Bob did. He leans out the window, like any pet owners in the audience, so he's driving like this, but it's raining, so he's getting hit in the face with rain. So almost everybody at this point, right, would pull over. This is not what my friend Bob did. He drove 17 miles at night in the rain, looking out, and this is Bob's actual Chevy Corsica. See the little gap between the windshield and the hood? Like down there at the dashboard? That's what Bob was like. So he's driving like this. He made it 17 miles. That's Bob. Cardinals hat, you can see the bungee cord. And this gives us an insight into the man, right? What do we know now about Bob? At the very least, you can say, here is a man who does not quit. Right? He doesn't give up easily. And I know something else about Bob. He's an excellent glassblower. He's fantastic. He's much better than I am. He's stronger. He's more creative. His hands are better. Like in every objective measure between his work and my work, his work wins. Except for one thing. I was able to make a living as a glassblower, and he wasn't. And the other reason I show you this vehicle is because from time to time, as things have gotten tough for Bob, he has had to live in the back of a 1992 Chevy Corsica. And I could never figure that out. It didn't make sense to me. Because here's a guy with these great skills, and he couldn't make a living. But it turns out Bob and I have other differences. I've never been in trouble with the law. My credit's pretty good. But Bob is somewhat of an outsider. And because he's an outsider, he was not allowed to participate in the world of commerce the way I was. And so when we built Square, I had this image on my computer. And this was what we were targeting. This was the problem that I was looking at. Because Jack and I focused an entire company on serving people who were unserved. Could we build a system that was so easy to use and so open that even my friend Bob could use it? And this was the target that we put for ourselves. And this, I think, is the reason that the company has been so successful, because we are focused on a problem, not an opportunity. OK, so let's talk about the speed of work. Let's talk about how fast things go. So this is my actual SolidWorks file. I had to put this in. I wanted to show you this. This is the SolidWorks file for the actual first, this was the V1 production Square reader. And I actually remember doing the finite element analysis on the spring, because spring coefficients, like if you've ever tried to build a spring without finite element analysis, it's a massive pain in the neck. But that's the actual one. That's the one we built. But I'd actually like to take you back in time before I was building these things using SolidWorks, when I was actually hand building them. And these are the first three, the very first three readers. The red one is a production prototype that preceded that one. The white one, that's polymethyl methacrylate, and that one was an immediate replacement to the one on the left. And the one on the left is the critical one because it is the very first Square reader made. And it was a disaster, because we had a meeting with Steve Jobs. And at the time, we were in real trouble with Apple, because we were planning to violate Apple's dock connector. The connector at the bottom was how we were supposed to connect things to the Apple. And we thought, well, that's stupid. It's slow. It's not going to work. So we were going to bypass it and go in through the top through the microphone jack. And we thought, wow, they're going to be really pissed when we do this. And we figured, well, the best way to get Apple on your side is to get Steve Jobs on your side. So we got a meeting with Steve. And Steve was still pretty sick at the time. But Steve agreed to meet with Jack. And I went into a panic, because Steve is a design, or was just a design zealot. Like when Bill Gates handed him the original prototype for the Microsoft Zune, he refused to touch it. It was so ugly. He wouldn't touch it. And I had to show this man a piece of hardware. And I went into a free fall panic. So I did what most people do. I was like, oh, well, I will steal an idea. I will steal one of his ideas. So I went into the Apple store, and I looked at all his products. And they had all this beautiful brushed aluminum. And I thought, oh, Steve likes aluminum. So I went out, and I got a block of aluminum. I took a milling machine. I milled it out, got the electronics stuck in there. It was a double all-nighter to get this thing built. And I finally got it together, and I handed it to Jack, who was going to go and meet with Steve. And he tested it out. It didn't work. I was like, no, it works perfectly. I've tested it 50 times. He hands it back to me. It works. I show it works. I hand it back to Jack. It doesn't work. We go back and forth 4 times. I was like, oh, my God. I don't know what's wrong. And then it occurred to me that because the reader was twisting in the microphone port, Jack was holding it with his fingertips. And I was like, oh my God, aluminum is electrically conductive. Instead of building a card reader, I have made a heart monitor. It was a disaster. But it got us through the demo. And the next day, I made the next one out of plastic. And from then on, my mantra was, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to iterate fast. Because if you don't, great can be an excuse to not getting stuff done. But speed fixes that. So talking about speed, is it always appropriate to work fast? Is it always good to work on what we call internet time? I mean, because at Square, we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the office. Why? Because we expect our people to be there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I learned a great lesson from a man named Lino Tagliapietra. And Lino's amazing because in the glass world, he is considered the best glass artist on the planet. And I was lucky enough to take a class with him. And his classes are fun because during a 2-week class, you are allowed to ask one question. And so what happens is the students obsess over their questions, and they're very elaborate. The questions almost always take the following form. They ask the best glassblower in the world how to do something that seems impossible. And then his answer is to actually do it. And it's amazing. But when I asked Lino my question, none of the other students paid attention because I asked him this thing that was so basic that they already thought they knew. I asked the best glassblower in the world how to put a foot on a bowl, which that dark orange on the bottom is a bowl, and that hot yellow bit of glass on the top is a foot. And to put a foot on a bowl is such a basic move, we teach it in the first week of a beginner's class. And by the time I got into Lino's class, I had been blowing glass for 15 years. But I had never been able to get comfortable with this one move. It always bothered me. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't, and I couldn't figure out why. And I had tried different techniques, I'd tried everything, and I only have one question. But I just have to know. So I say, you know, Maestro, how do I put a foot on a bowl? And I was expecting his answer to be like his other answers. I was expecting him to show me how to do it. That's not what he did. He said, Jim, make a foot. I made a foot. He said, Jim, put the foot on the bowl. I put it on the bowl. And just as I was about to let the glass fall, he said, wait, now. And when he said now, I let the glass fall, and it went on perfectly. And this blew my mind because I'd been doing it right for 15 years. But I'd been doing it at the wrong time. And in glass, if you make the shape, but it is too hot, in other words, if you make the shape too early, it will not retain that shape. But if you make it too late, the glass gets too cold and you can't make the shape that you want. And when I saw this illustrated perfectly in front of me, I thought, oh my God, how many times have I been not paying attention to when? So these days, instead of just working as fast as I can, sometimes I ask, is now the moment to do what I should be doing? And finally, how does this all feel? I was really trying to get this idea about being bold answered. And I've never been bold. I'm a guy who's typically afraid. And I was trying to I was trying to figure out a way to share with you what it feels like to do something that is different. Because if you're copying, okay, you can copy something that's been done. You feel fairly secure. But if you're doing something that is truly new, that is truly different, I always feel uncomfortable. And the way I feel about that is best illustrated by this. Actually, it's a ski trip that I took when I was a student. So some friends got their parents' condo, and I was close enough that I could rent a car and drive out and go skiing with them. So I was like, OK, cool. So I started driving. I rent this little white Toyota Tercel, and I start driving. And over the course of about 20 minutes, the road, my view of the road changes from this, wait for it, to that. I was caught in a blizzard. They actually shut the road down. And I'm driving along, and I can no longer see where I'm going. And I am not like my friend Bob. I will pull over. I will happily sleep in my car. But here's the problem. I've also had a lot of math. And the math that I'm doing in my head while I'm driving down this road is, wait a second, you were in a white Toyota Tercel. It's a 2,200-pound vehicle, and somewhere behind me is a plow truck that weighs 16,000 pounds, is traveling at 60 miles an hour, probably driven by a guy who's been awake for 3 days. I would love to pull over to the side of the road, but I don't know where the side of the road is. And if I'm wrong, I am dead. So I have to keep driving. But here's the problem with driving. I can't see where the road is. The snow is covering everything. The only thing I could see, and I don't know if you can see it in the slide here, but there was a little reflector. Every statute mile on a US highway, there is a post with a reflector on it, and it sticks up out of the snow. And that's all I could see. The problem was I couldn't see for a mile. So I would drive to a reflector, and then I would have to guess where the next reflector would be. All of the time in the back of my head saying, if I don't keep going, I will be killed. So I've done a lot of different things. And this feeling has never gone away. When you are doing something creative, whenever you are challenging beliefs, whenever you are doing something that is truly new, you will probably feel, as I feel, this sense of terror. But the good news is, if you keep driving, you'll get to your destination. And when I got there, turns out very few people had also made it to the ski resort that weekend, so we had the place to ourselves. And it's a great feeling to get there, because nobody should have to sleep in their car. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was really inspiring. That was so fantastic. I really like what you said, too. It really is all about timing.
Timing. Yes, and I went a minute over. I'm sorry.
You're fantastic. Thank you. One more round of applause for Jim McKelvey. So wonderful. Well, don't forget the breakout start promptly at 10:30 a.m. And remember to rate the sessions on the app. Oh, I know. What? Oh, you want one of these? You're wondering where to get this, aren't you? Well, you can pick up your backpack at the Partner Pavilion in booth 333. That is in the back of the Partner Pavilion, just next to the shop floor. So you guys can pick those up then. So we will see you tonight at the reception at the Partner Pavilion at 5:30 p.m. Have an amazing day. We'll see you later. Thank you.